Hi, my class 10s. When Portia, in Act 4, Scene 1 of Your Merchant of Venice, when she asks Antonio, what mercy can you render him, Antonio? Gratiano replies, a halter gratis, nothing else, for God's sake. Antonio goes on to say, so please, my lord, the duke and all the court, to quit the fine for one half of his goods I am content, so he will let me have. The other half in use to render it upon his death unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter. Two things provided more, that for this favour he presently become a Christian, and the other that he do record a gift. Here in the court of all he dies possessed, unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter. Now, to whom does Portia expect Antonio to show mercy? And why? What is the situation? How does this scene show any difference between the attitudes of the Jews and the Christians? And what does Antonio suggest about the fine which was to be charged by the state from the Jew? Now, Portia is speaking to Antonio as a young lawyer. She is disguised as a lawyer, interpreting the Venetian law in the court of Venice. The Duke is presiding. She asks Antonio if he will show mercy to Shylock. A short while ago, Portia had asked Shylock if he will show mercy to Antonio, but Shylock had refused it outright. The Jew refused to have mercy on Antonio, and he was not willing to receive his money with interest either. He was bent upon cutting off a pound of flesh from the body of Antonio because he was the defaulter. Now, in the trial, the situation has reversed. Shylock, who was in the winning position earlier, finds himself now in a tight corner, as he is now charged with conspiring to take the life of a Venetian citizen, that is Antonio. And Antonio is now in a position to take mercy on the Jew. So, what does the scene bring out? The scene brings out a contrast between the attitude of the Jews and the Christians. The Duke earlier had said that the Christian spirit is to forgive, while the Jewish spirit is to avenge. The Duke, being a Christian, forgave Shylock's life even without he asking for it. But half of this wealth was given to Antonio. The other half of Shylock's wealth, which was to be attached to the treasury of the state and was to be seen as a fine if Shylock showed a humbler attitude. Antonio then requests the Duke to remit that part of Shylock's fine which was to go to the state, and Shylock may be allowed to retain half of his property by paying just a small amount of fine. And Antonio will receive the other part of the property which he will keep in trust, and that he will give it to Lorenzo after the death of the Jew. So I hope you've understood. Thank you.